Hello everyone, welcome back to English Made Easy by Tanvi. I hope you all are doing great and learning English confidently. अगर आपने Modals Part 1 नहीं देखा then definitely go and watch it first because उस वीडियो में हमने can, could, may, might, must and should डिटेल में कवर किए थे. And today we are going to start with part 2 of modal verbs. Today's modals are ought to, need to, dare, used to, shall and would. और ये सारे मॉडल्स डेली इंग्लिश कन्वर्सेशन में बहुत यूज़फुल होते हैं. सो इफ़ यू वांट टू साउंड फ्लुएंट, स्पीक पोलाइटली, इम्प्रूव योर ग्रामर एंड साउंड मोर नेचुरल इन इंग्लिश, then this video is going to help you a lot. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. Let's quickly revise what modal verbs actually are. Modal verbs are helping verbs. They help us express ability, advice, permission, possibility, habits, necessity, request and polite speaking. और एक important rule याद रखिए. After modal verbs, we usually use the first form of the verb. For example, I can swim. You should study. यहाँ पर swim और study word ये first form में है. अब एक और important thing. Modal verbs make your English sound more fluent, more polished and more confident. So now, let's learn each modal one by one with easy examples. First modal is ought to. Now, many students get confused between should and ought to. Actually, both are very similar. Both are used for advice, suggestions and telling what is right. But ought to sound slightly more formal and mature. For example, you ought to drink more water. मतलब तुम्हें ज़्यादा पानी पीना चाहिए. ये एक एडवाइस है. अब और एग्जाम्पल्स देखें. We ought to respect our parents. You ought to study regularly. Now listen carefully. If your mother says you ought to sleep early, it means sleeping early is the right thing to do. I have a small tip for you. In daily conversation, people use should very often. But if you use ought to, your English sounds more fluent and polished and advanced. So try using it sometimes. So now, next modal is need to. Need to means something necessary or something important and shows responsibility. For example, I need to finish my work. मतलब मुझे homework complete करना है. Let's take more examples. She needs to wake up early. We need to save money. Now, many students ask what's the difference between must and need to. Here's a very easy difference. Must means a strong rule, whereas need to means a necessity or importance. For example, you must wear a helmet. This sounds strict. But you need to take rest. This sounds softer and natural. In spoken English, native users use need to a lot. For example, I need to go now. We need to hurry. You need to listen carefully. So, this modal is extremely useful in daily life. Hope you understand this modal. Now, let's learn next modal dare. Dare is very interesting because it is connected with courage, confidence and challenge. For example, I dare you to speak in English only. मतलब मैं तुम्हें चैलेंज करता हूँ कि सिर्फ इंग्लिश में बोलो. Now imagine your friend says you can't sing in front of everyone and you say, I dare you to try. This sounds more powerful, right? Now, more examples. She dared him to jump. I don't dare to talk to the principal. Dare you try this. Now listen carefully. Dare is not very common in normal conversation, but it is used a lot in movies, challenges and motivational speaking. Using dare makes your English expressive and dramatic. So if you want to sound confident in English, this word is very amazing. Hope you will use this word as a motivational challenge. So now, next modal is used to. This is one of the most important topics in English grammar. Used to talks about past habits, our old routines, the situations that were true but not now. For example, I used to play cricket every evening. मतलब मैं पहले रोज़ क्रिकेट खेलता था, but now I don't. मैं अब नहीं खेलता. More examples. I used to live in Delhi. She used to wake up late. We used to be best friends. Now pay attention to this important mistake. I used to play cricket or I used to play cricket. Always remember, used to represents past habits. For example, I used to watch cartoons every day. Means I earlier watched cartoons regularly, but now maybe I don't. This model is very useful when talking about childhood memories or old habits. I hope this much is clear to all of you. Now let's continue. Now let's learn shall. Shall is used for offers, giving suggestions, making a polite future action. For example, shall we go out for lunch? मतलब क्या हम लंच के लिए बाहर चलें? Let me give you more examples. Shall I help you? Shall we start the class? Shall we dance? Now, one important thing. Shall sounds polite, classy and formal. British English में ज़्यादा common है shall. Instead of saying, do you want to go? Sometimes you can say, shall we go? This sounds smoother and more elegant. Hope you will try to use shall in your daily English language. Last but not the least modal is would. This is one of the most important modal verbs in spoken English. Would is used for polite requests, for preferences, for imaginary situations and soft speaking. For example, would you like a cup of tea? This sounds much more polite than do you want tea? For examples, I would love to travel abroad. Would you help me? I would buy that car if I had money. Now understand this carefully. Would makes your English sound respectful, soft and professional. That's why native speakers use it a lot. For example, instead of saying help me, you should say would you help me? Instantly your English sounds more polite. Now it's practice time. I'll give you a sentence and you try to guess the correct modal verb. First, you dash drink enough water every day. Ought to or need to? Comment below the answers. The correct answer is ought to. It is a good advice. Let's take another question. Students dash finish their homework before bed. Need to or ought to? Comment fast the answers below. The correct answer is need to. It shows the necessity. Let's take question third. We dash live in a big city when we were children. Used to or need to? Give me the answer. The correct answer is used to. It shows the past habit or state that is no longer true. Now let's quickly revise. ought to is used to give an advice, need to represents necessity, dare is used for giving a challenge, used to represents a past habit, shall is used for giving an offer or a suggestion, would is used to make a polite request. See, modals are actually very easy when explained simply. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to English Made Easy by Tanvi. And comment below which modal verb was your favorite. Keep learning, keep practicing and keep speaking English confidently. Bye-bye.